Hi guys, it's Sam here from Geek Pride, and I have the pleasure of having abducted a friend for the evening. I'd like to introduce Paul from Room 17. Room 17, you may know them. They've done 2 Kickstarters already successfully. Paul, can you tell us which Kickstarters they've done?
The first Kickstarter was Miremarsh, Exhibit A, and this is our second Kickstarter, currently on Kickstarter right now.
What's it called?
Mire Marsh. Mire Marsh is... Oh, after you.
No, go ahead.
Mire Marsh is a game which features loads of really, really cool goblins.
We're going to get some close-ups of those later.
And they're exploring a swamp, and they're each competing to complete an evil quest or be the least useless goblin. And we'll come to that when we start playing.
So I'm actually really excited about this because this is actually the second time I'm going to be playing this game. Paul's going to sort of explain the mechanics and remind me so I don't cheat, because apparently in the rules it actually says that cheating is not a prerequisite, which I'm rather offended by that, Paul, that you've got that rule in there.
Well, you know.
Is that just for me?
Yes, specifically
Is
just
it?
for you, yeah.
So last time I believe I won. There's no evidence of that, and there never will be. Sadly, my camera got corrupted. But this time I'm going to really win this time. So do you want to tell us a little bit about the board there, Paul?
Yeah, sure. This is the Miremarsh board. Your goblins will start here in what's called the Warren, and you will spread out across the marsh into the swamp, and we'll progress through these tiles, aiming towards one of the 4 quests in the corner. As you journey through the marsh, we'll be turning these tiles over, we'll be revealing various locations, and in those locations will be various creatures, and those creatures will try and eat you.
Wow. I mean, it really sucks to be at the bottom of the food chain. Although we can't be that much at the bottom of the chain. I'm looking at some of these quests that we've got here. Kill the king.
Yeah.
Which killing are we killing? Is this the Goblin King that we're trying to be?
Yes, I suppose.
This isn't a sponsorship for euthanasia
I
or
guess.
anything like that.
No. We applied for that, but apparently McDonald's have already got it. So yeah, if you kill the king, then that's how you become the king. But if you complete one of the other quests, then I guess the king just dies of shame. On the board at the moment, we've got kill the king, we've got steal the baby, bribe the dwarves, and kill the last unicorn.
That one's absolutely fantastic. Kill the last unicorn.
Well, you know, they just clutter up the place, don't they?
I mean, you're almost like you're telling me that we're evil or something.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, these are definitely goblins with social adjustment issues.
We're looking at one of these cards that we have to victory, and there's a lot of symbols on here, Paul. Do I need to do all these in one go?
You do. Anything that's on one of those metallic effect fields there, they're called compulsory tests. You have to complete those all in one go, or you are deceased. So we've got 4 at the moment on the board. We've got kill the king, steal the baby, steal a baby, bribe some dwarves, your favourite there, the last unicorn, and then we've got for this prototype version we've got another 4 here. So we've got destroy the fairy court, kidnap the lord, loot the adventurers camp, and recruit the rock goblins. And there are more quests to complete in the full game.
So sort of to mix up and give you different playthroughs each time.
Yeah, these are all dealt randomly onto the board when you set the board up.
Right.
So you're not going to get the same 4 every time. And with the amount that we've got in the full game, you should get a lot of variety every game.
Yeah, the Kickstarter exclusives, we're just smashing through them. The number of tiles we've got, the core game's just racking up. Now, I just noticed that you've put down, and it has a number 4 on there. Is that bearing anything on the game?
Yeah, you can see the board, the tiles in the centre of the board start with 4 number 1s. They're fairly easy. The ones that were number 2, a little bit difficult. The 3 ones, they're usually quite difficult. And then you've got the 4 ones which are in some cases extraordinarily difficult.
Nice. So you said you and us. I'm assuming literally I don't have to climb on this board. This isn't like a mini game of Twister that we're going to be playing.
As much as I pay good money to see that. No, we're using these exquisitely sculpted goblins.
All right. So instead of me having to get on the board, then we have all these horrible, hideous little goblins that we get to control throughout the board. So there's a little army of them. We're going to get some photos from Paul later on. There's about 12 of them in the core box, it looks like. So do I get to go all of these goblins, Paul?
No, you get to play one at a time, and it depends on how many players are playing the game. For our 2-player game, for instance, we'll only have access to 6 goblins that we'll choose randomly. In a full 5-player game, we'll have 12 cards, and that goes down incrementally depending on how many players are playing.
So this is a 5-player game then, that you're sort of against the board rather than against each other?
Oh no, you definitely want to beat the other player, yeah.
Alright, okay.
Yeah, for bragging rights.
Cool. Well, do you want to show me some of the goblins I've got to choose from?
Okay, so the first of the goblins we've got is Hoarder. He starts off with 3 gold coins, which can, in the words of Homer Simpson, be exchanged for goods and services. Catcher, he starts with a pet. Pets are really, really handy. They let you carry extra equipment, and they give you extra icons that you have permanently attached to your character, making it easier to pass tests on the cards. Then we've got Tanker. As the name would suggest, he's covered in armour. He doesn't carry around a lot of water. Spooker, he's got a skull for a face, so I guess that makes him socially maladjusted. Fizzler, he's a bit of a magic man.
He comes from far away. What music does he play?
Yes, you met him.
Clearly different generations there.
You've met Fizzler. And Mixer, who is sort of an alchemist type man.
Right, so they've all got their own special ability there.
Oh yeah.
What are the symbols in the top left hand corner?
So these coloured squares, they correlate to the coloured dice that we've got. The blue, you'll be intrigued to learn. You gain blue dice for every blue square.
Yep.
These yellow ones, you get a yellow dice. The greens, green dice. And if you've got anybody with a black square, we haven't got anybody with black squares.
Presumably we can get them through the game. Are they something to do with these tokens here?
Yeah, these tokens here.
So those aren't the only 6 we can have, that's just the 6 that we've drafted for a 2-player game, yeah?
That's right, there are another 6 goblins who have a different combination of special powers and icons and dice.
Right, well more importantly, which one am I going? You're
going to pick 2 cards, you're going to look at those 2 cards, and you're going to choose one of those cards for your goblin.
I feel like this is just teasing me at this point. So here's a look. I have drawn Mixer, who's the sort of the alchemist looking one. And I've drawn Hoarder, who's the walking pinata. So I feel like Hoarder, you're probably going to want to mug me, and frankly I pay enough taxes that I'm not interested in going Hoarder. So instead, I'm going Mixer. Diddly-did-did-did. So I'm going to take that model and I'm going to pop him right in the middle. We'll have some close-ups of those models later. So I'm now in the Warren. Who are you going, Paul?
I have a choice of Catcher and Fizzler. So I'm going to go for Fizzler. For no other reason other than he's one of my favourite sculpts.
Ah, very nice. They are all brilliant. I absolutely love them. It's nice for once to be going the bad guy. Or then again, are we the good guys because we are playing the bad guys?
That's a moral conundrum that I'm not equipped to answer.
Okay, so we're both in here now. So I want to get started with my move. So you said that these icons indicate each of my different dice that I'm getting. So I appear to be getting 2 green, 1 sort of yellow, and 1 sort of blue. Now I can see we've actually got 2 lovely piles of dice. Is this the standard number of dice that you get in the game, or?
That's certainly the set that you get in the prototype. It's probably the same that you get in the game when it goes to print, but
there's loads on the Kickstarter. There's an add-on as well, isn't there?
Yeah, you can get extra dice if, in case you think the dice you get are inadequate.
So here's where we test if I'm a high roller. I'm not sure what I'm rolling for yet, but I'm going to roll all these dice. So I've got a couple of symbols on here. Do you want to talk me through which symbols we've got and what on earth they mean?
Sure, the feet let you move through the board. The swords let you stab things. There are other icons include tentacles, which we'll come to later. They're very important. And you also have eyes. If you have an eye icon, You can peek at tiles. They also allow you to pass tests that rely on you being able to see.
Right, okay. Well, I've rolled a couple of feet, so there's nothing to it but move. Do I want to use my double foot there, or do I want to just use the single one? Does it matter?
The double feet are great for facing certain tests. If you've got a test that has 2 feet on there, then you're basically passing it with 1 dice.
So I can't just spend all 3 and just run straight to the inner corner, stealing a baby?
No,
Nope.
you need to
Okay
do
then.
each tile in turn.
So I'm going to spend my foot on the green dice, and I'm going to flip over this tile. So it says here, barrow. What have we got here? Encounter.
That's an encounter, so when you land on an encounter tile, you have an option whether or not you want to face a creature, or whether or not you prefer to live a normal, easy life. And
Oh, please, come on now.
oh, come on! Are you going to pull a creature?
Of course I'm going to pull a creature.
Do it. Right, here we go. So you take the topmost tile.
Okay. The monster I've pulled out is the giant slug. I mean, that doesn't sound too difficult.
Well, it's one of the easiest tiles to defeat. If you see at the top there, you've got the silver finish field. That's what we call a compulsory test. So to pass that test, you only need 1 foot icon on any of the dice that you've rolled.
Yep.
Underneath that, you've got the 2 wood finish fields. They're optional challenges that you can choose to face. You can choose to try and complete or not. If you decide you're going to try and complete one of those tests and fail, then your goblin is dead.
Right, okay. That's promising. Going out in the first turn is not my perfect ideal. So I've got all my dice here. Which ones am I allowed to use? Which ones are not? Is it just these leftover ones?
Okay, so you've burnt this one to move.
Okay.
And then you've got 2 blank dice there which aren't doing anything for you at the moment, but you keep those in your pool.
Yep.
Because you can re-roll your dice for every test that you face.
Oh, awesome.
But for this compulsory test here, you've got this dice with the 2 feet, so that you use that to pass your compulsory test. You've got a sword there which you can use to pass this first optional test, so you burn that.
Yep.
That gives you gold in
Excellent.
reward, as indicated by the little gold coin icon there, so I give you one of these.
So is it possible for me to like gamble at this point and just like re-roll?
If you wanted to go for this second
Yep.
optional test, you need 2 swords to pass that. Now these dice, the blue ones, don't have any sword icons.
No, they've
on.
sort of got like a pentagon and a tentacle and some blanks.
Yeah, so if you roll a pentacle, they're wild cards, you can use them for anything. The tentacles summon the wandering swamp monster.
Oh, I'm sure we'll find out that in a minute.
So you can stick there having passed the first optional test.
Yep.
And then you're still alive.
Well, I think that's a good beginning. Not dying is normally... Well, you know, that's the focus of life, the biggest board game of all.
Wow. Yeah, welcome to Philosophy 101 with Geek Pride. So you're ending your turn there?
Yeah, I am indeed. Well, I'd rather not, but, you know, I suppose in the name of sportsmanship, I should probably give you a go.
I think it's wise. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, the whole table's going over.
I was going to say, the guy that knows the rules, yeah, probably wise to give him a turn.
That's the point. I have you at a complete disadvantage. I could totally blag my way to victory. Okay, so you finish your turn. You'll notice that you've got 9 of these fish. So you have to eat one of those fish at the end of every turn.
Right.
If you get to the end of a turn and you have no fish, then your goblin dies of starvation.
Nice. So I've got 9 fish. Would that indicate that this game only lasts 9 turns, or...?
There are other creatures on the board that give you fish. If you kill them, then you get to eat them. Also, one of the...
Can I eat the slug?
No.
Well, my goblin's not French. My goblins are fussy. Well, Michelin star eaters.
If you kill the creatures, like on the slug there, you'll notice there's a bone icon. If you slay it, you get to keep the bones. There is one particular goblin who can eat bones instead of fish.
I'm going to take a wild guess it's Gulper, the guy that looks like he's willing to eat everything.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's like Monsieur Mange 2. That's an 80s reference, which I don't think most of your viewers will get. That's because I'm old.
Do you want to take your turn though, which is hopefully something we will understand?
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so I'm going to give you these dice back.
Oh, thanks. My dice are not good enough. My dice are not weighted, apparently.
Correct. I was hoping it wouldn't be as transparent. So I'm going to take 3 green, and I'm going to take a yellow and a blue.
So what's your special rule? Is it going to help you in this
So
turn?
I can discard a bones token and take a blue dice, which lasts until the end of my current turn. But that's dependent on my killing people.
Right, okay.
Well, not people, creatures.
Who knows what Tails will reflect?
Yeah, sorry, I went a bit meta there. Okay, so I'm going to roll these dice now. This is me rolling dice. There we are. Okay, so I have rolled a foot, which is good. So if you roll your dice pool and you have no feet, then you get to re-roll because you no one wants to stay stuck in one place.
Yep.
So I'm going to burn that to move.
Okay.
And I am looking at the.
So can you come to the one that I've just gone to, or do you have to go for one of these other tails?
I could go there if I wanted to, but I don't like you.
I was going to say you don't like me.
No. I'm going to go for kill the king because that's reliant on you rolling a pentagram. Pentagram.
It's a tentacle and a pentagram. All in one.
Pentecost.
Very Cthulhu-esque.
Yeah, penthouse. I need one of those.
Okay.
To complete that quest. So I'm going to head up that way.
Okay.
I'm going to go pretty much in the opposite direction to you. So I'm going to move over here.
Out of interest, if you come onto the same square as me, can we fight?
No.
No. Oh,
No,
right. Good.
the way the rules stand at the moment, there is no stabby, fighty.
The rules. Sorry, I was meaning me and you.
Oh, you and I. Yeah, we could do. That'd be one-sided. Because you would thrash me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, I mean, there's flattery. So what have we got? We've got the standing stones. We've got 2 feet and move to any level.
Well, that's a layer. So
Okay.
the first thing I need to do is I need to put a level 1 creature on there. So I've got the Swamp Gator.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Look at that.
My
painting.
grandma. What big teeth you have. So something pretty
sorry, I thought you
difficult.
literally said your grandmother.
No.
Harsh. Lovely lady.
Let's see how you do then.
So I could just take a moment here for us to just reflect on that lovely painting.
It is rather nice.
The artwork on the whole game is beautiful.
Do you know who the artist is?
The art duties are being combined by, we've got a Colombian artist called Andres Martinez, who's worked on various projects for Room 17 and Warlord games before, and in computer games, and Mary Safro, who's done most of the locations, and Andres has done most of the goblins.
Is there going to be an artwork book? Because I know there's not one on the campaign book.
There is.
There is?
Yeah, that's going to be unveiled shortly as an add-on, I believe. And I'm looking forward to that because, as I say, the artwork is gorgeous. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. So yeah, let's.
So I can see that you've already rolled a sword there on your green. So say you wanted to gamble it all and you wanted to get a second sword, can you re-roll just some of the dice?
No, you see there, I've got sword there to pass the compulsory test. Yep. I can use that to pass the secondary test, so I'll get a gold coin, which I'm going to do that now.
Okay.
I like money. So I've got 2 sword. I beg your pardon. I've got 2 blank faces there on the green dice. Now the green dice, I know the faces are either swords, or feet, or blanks. So if I wanted to push my luck, I could re-roll those and hope that I get a foot and a sword. So I'm going to do that now.
But what happens if you don't?
So that goblin's dead.
Oh dear. Okay.
Yeah. It's a very short life expectancy as a goblin in the Mire Marsh.
Fair enough.
Yeah, there's no point saving your money for a pension, put it that way. Oh, happy day. This is
very nice.
That's got a foot and an eye, so I get to choose one of those. So I'm going to go for the foot, and I'm going to use that sword. So yep, I've killed that creature. That creature is deceased, and I get some bones for that.
Very nice.
And there we go. Bones. So that goes. Put that at the bottom of the pile there, and I have no dice left, so I can't continue. Finish there. Gonna eat a fish. That is the end of my turn. When I start their next turn, if I roll 2 feet, then if I choose to take this compulsory test and roll 2 feet, I can move to any level 3 hex. So the standing stones is a really, really neat shortcut to almost teleport you across the board.
So you've done all the hard work there, killed the monster. Can I be cheeky and run on there and try and use it, or do I have to start on that tile to use that ability?
If you roll the appropriate amount of feet, then you can travel over there, and then you can choose to take that optional test. Yeah.
Firstly, though, we've got this rather sticky customer. So, do I need to kill that slug so I can get away, or did passing the white test do enough?
So you've passed the compulsory test.
Yep.
That's all that's required. The others are optional. So if you decide you want to try and kill the slug and get some bones, then that's great. Go for your life. You're not forced to. If you want, you can just leave that slug be, and you can go on to the next tile.
So I actually last turn completed the single sword one. Do I need to start again and do single sword then double sword, or can you choose which one you complete?
Once the test is completed,
Yep.
it's completed, and you don't have to pass that again.
Now, on here, when I move off of here, because I'm going to run away like the cowardly goblin I am in true form, does the slug stay here?
Yeah.
Right. It'd be really nice if there was some models for those.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because we have a range of beautifully sculpted monster miniatures that are available as add-ons.
And I believe, unfortunately, they're Kickstarter exclusive at the moment. It says on the is there a reason? Is that going to change? Are we hoping that, or is it just production costs that sort of making it a Kickstarter exclusive?
I think it's a combination of exclusivity to make the Kickstarter more appealing and to award our backers. And yeah, I guess there's a cost element, but I think in the main it's to make the Kickstarter that little bit more special.
But you don't actually need it to play it. It just makes the game nicer. Well, you know, I'm a sucker for models.
Absolutely.
Right, I'm going to move away from this section. So off I go. So what have we got? Oh, jeez. Now you mentioned the tentacles earlier, but I wasn't really sure what you meant by the swamp monster.
Okay, so
what should I expect?
Roll 2 tentacles.
Uh-oh.
1 would have been bad.
Okay.
2 is really, really bad. So
does this pile of walking future sushi have anything to do with those dice by any chance?
it does. You rolled a foot. You rolled a tentacle, so you summoned that swamp creature. So that appears.
And he's my friend, yeah.
He's totally your friend.
Excellent,
He's
excellent.
one of those friends that just wants to hug you really tight and then eat you.
Oh.
Because we've all got friends like that, haven't we? Let's gloss over that. Let's gloss over that. So I get to choose where this appears. I can choose any level 2 tile.
So it only appears in level 2, so I'm safe in level 1.
You are.
Okay.
For the short term.
Okay.
So the first tentacle I burn and I summon the creature there.
Okay.
The second one I use to make him move.
Away from me towards your character, yeah?
Yes, totally.
Oh, excellent. Okay, so what do I do with the rest of my... No.
That was a lie.
Oh, no.
So I'm going to move him onto your tile.
No.
Oh, yes.
So what happens if I do have a sword? Is that going to help me at all? No.
So when you begin your next turn,
Yep.
the first thing you need to do is not be eaten by the swamp monster.
Okay.
Yeah.
So by rolling those 2 tentacles, I've essentially lost my turn because it's moved on to me.
You certainly made your life a little bit harder, yes.
So what do I do at this point then? Can I run away from him? Or
If you roll a single foot, then you get to flee back to the warren.
so I can't use these double feet. So I rolled, I believe it was 2 tentacles, a blank, a sword, and 2
Yeah.
feet.
So if you spend that, then you can run back to the warren.
I can't run to number 2. Okay.
No.
No.
Your 3 options
Oh dear.
are.
Yep.
And this isn't going to turn into a Spanish Inquisition sketch. Your
Okay.
3 options are die.
Nice.
Kick
Cake or death.
Yeah, cake or death. Yeah. Die.
Okay.
Not die and kill the swamp monster,
Okay.
or not die and run back to the warren. Those are your 3 options.
And my sword isn't going to help me.
No, because you need 2 swords to kill the creature.
And I don't get a reroll.
If you want to risk it and go for a reroll,
But I reroll everything, including the feet.
It depends. If you don't burn that and run back, you can roll that whole pool there, and hope that you get 2 swords or a foot.
I reckon 2 swords. We've got the white dice. That is not a convincing but let's go for it. Oh no! So what happens at this point?
The good news is you're not dead, because
I'm not dead?
No, you didn't kill the creature.
Okay.
But you have rolled that single foot there, which is all you need to flee back
Oh,
to
thank
the warren.
goodness. Okay. I almost feel like I should just sacrifice him and get a different goblin because he's not really doing me any favours at this point. Do I still use a fish?
You do.
Oh no, that's
Yeah.
just insult to injury. Okay.
And I'm going to make it even worse by telling you if you'd killed the swamp monster, you'd have gained a fish.
Oh,
Yeah.
do I eat the swamp monster?
Yes.
Oh,
that's,
nice.
Yeah. If you
Nice.
kill it, you get to
Fresh
eat it.
sushi.
Yeah.
Very
So,
nice.
yeah. Indeed. Yeah.
Okay, then your turn to storm ahead with your daft standing stones.
Yep. Okay.
Not envious at all.
Okay, so I am going to spend.
So you've got one here with a foot and an eye. Does that mean you get both? Or?
No, I get to choose.
All right.
Yeah, I get a choice. When you got the two icons on there, you can choose one or the other.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm from Yorkshire. One or t'other. So I'm not going to use the standing stones.
You're not.
No, because it's an optional challenge. I can choose whether or not I want to use it, and I didn't, so I'm not.
Okay.
Because if I'd have chosen to go for that optional test and I
Mhm.
hadn't rolled 2 feet, then I would be dead.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So you have to declare that before you rolled your dice.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yes. So I'm going to spend that, and I'm going to move to this level 2 type, and that's an encounter with an infested grove.
So I
So,
see
yeah, the
cobwebs
infested
there.
grove, yeah.
That's not.
It's suggestive of spiders, isn't it?
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh no.
But there's no white tokens on there. What does that mean?
Well, that means that they're optional. Encounters are different from layers in that you don't have to go for any of the tests on there.
So
You don't
what-
have to face any creatures.
What's that icon at the very top? The purple one.
That one tells us that if you pass that challenge, you get an item.
So essentially, if I decide to test on this, I can test on any of them, and as long as I get a foot, I can at least escape alive. Is that?
No, you have to do them in order.
Oh,
So you
no.
start with the first one,
Yep.
and then if you pass that, you could choose to do the second one if you wanted to. If you pass that, you could choose to do the third.
That's pretty tough.
Yep, it only gets tougher as you progress through the swamp.
It is Mire Marsh.
Yep.
So what are you going to do then?
I am. You know what? I fancy my chances of getting 2 eyes.
Well, I fancy my chances because you just moved me.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, there you go. So I'm going to go for that. I'm going to try and get 2 eyes.
So the only dice you've lost at this point is the foot you used for moving.
Correct.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So I didn't have 2 feet. 2 eyes. So I've re-rolled the pool, which you're allowed to do for every test. I've only rolled 1 eye. So for that goblin, the adventure is over.
What about your skull? Can you use that at this point? Would that have helped you?
Look at that. Yeah, I can discard bones and I can roll. Actually, you know what? I think I'll do that.
Don't worry, I'm happy to teach you how to play this game.
Oh, look!
no.
Oh,
That was karma right there.
yeah. Well, true enough. Yeah, Karma Miranda. There you go. So, so my goblin's dead.
Okay.
I
So do we
don't-
hide that tail, or does that tail stay the same?
No, that tile stays there.
All right. Okay.
That will remain there until the next game. So I needed 2 eyes on my dice to pass that challenge. I only rolled 1 eye and some other icons that weren't eyes. So that means that I'm dead.
Anyway, let me show you how it's done. So, let's do this. I see a lot of feet there. That's looking pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So, could I move 1 and then use the special ability to jump to 3?
You totally can. Yeah.
Excellent. That
can
is what I'm going to do then.
Totally spend your dice pool to do that. Yeah.
Well, the way you say that makes me very nervous. So I'm going to move 1 onto there.
Yeah.
I'm going to move... Oh,
No,
sorry.
any
I'm then
level.
going to use the special ability
Yeah.
to move to 3. Now, I rolled a... I'm trying to think, yeah, do I kill the last... Yeah, I'm going for the last unicorn. So I'm going to teleport using the standing stones all the way over here. So I've now burnt these 2 dice because I've used them.
Yep.
So I guess now to flip over
Now
3.
we flip over, see what you've got.
Carnivorous plants. So it's the Venus flytrap that I forgot to look after as a kid and has always haunted
That's
my
right.
dreams.
Yeah.
So there's an ore on here. So there's 2 compulsory quests, these white ones, but there's an ore.
Yeah. So you can choose which which one of those you want to take. If you had a pet, which you don't have a pet, you could discard your pet, feed it to the cannabis plant, as you do. You know, heaven knows that I've been tempted. And then, or you could go for this one, which you need 2 feet, a sword, and an eye to pass that. And I'm going to tell you right now, you have absolutely no chance at all.
Well, I mean, I've already got the 2 of them. So is there 2 feet on that one by any chance?
No.
No.
No, I'm afraid not.
Okay.
You have, on the blue dice, you have a tentacle, 3 pentacles,
Okay.
and 2 blank.
Now,
faces.
that sword, I don't suppose by any chance... No. So the best I can get is an eye and a foot. Now, my special ability does allow me to turn that into wild card, but even if I was going to be hopelessly optimistic, I'm guessing wild cards can only count as one of those symbols, even though this dice has 2 feet. It's just one.
I have the greatest pleasure in telling you that is absolutely correct. Yes.
Okay, then I'm afraid Mixer is now deceased because I have unfortunately failed the compulsory test and I didn't have a pet to sacrifice. So, not a good turn for goblins then.
No.
You guys suck.
We really do.
Totes, as I believe the youngs say. So I'm going to take the top 2 cards here, as it's now my turn.
Yep.
Take the top 2 cards. Choose one of these goblins. I'm going to go for Spooker purely because he's the bossest miniature in the set.
So, out of interest, you know, we both had gold there. What happens to it? Is it now just sitting in the bottom of the swamp?
That's
Or...
a very, very good question. So when you die, one of the items that you're carrying, you put on the tile in which you died. And then if you've got any other items, you place them on adjacent hexes.
Wow, so when I jokingly called the treasure guy a piñata, we literally do explode and throw pieces everywhere.
Absolutely. Apart from, oddly enough, Order, who just dumps all this stuff where he died. Because it's in a chest, so he just drops the chest and it's...
That's just typical of my jokes. They sort of just get destroyed at the end.
Yeah.
Moving swiftly on.
Let's not dwell on that point.
Fortuitous tumbleweed.
Yeah. Anyway, moving swiftly on. So I've got Spooker. There we are.
Oh, you're right. He is one of the best models. He's
He's
absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely amazing.
What's his cape? He seems to have like little wings. Let's have a look at the back of the model.
I think it's Kate, isn't it?
It's skin with
it's
some hands
hands.
attached to it. Yeah.
Wow. Any misconstruement that these guys are the good guys is gone right there.
Well, cheaper than a raincoat. So 2
You know,
blues.
kill a human. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, we've all been tempted.
That's the second reference you've made to killing someone, eating them. When you said that you were eating an Indian earlier, I assumed you meant like a curry. Now I'm slightly concerned.
I'm not sure that says more about you than it does me.
You're the one making cannibal jokes.
Oh look! Speaking of eating things, I've got a tentacle. So
Now, I'm not going to say I'm going to enjoy this, but I'm going to move this tentacle guy into the warren.
Do you want the good news or the good news?
Well, the good news, obviously.
The good news is you can't move the tentacle creature.
That's
onto the
not
warren.
good news for me.
Well, it is for me.
Oh, right, okay. So, does he move, even though there's no goblins he can chase?
You move in elsewhere, just not onto the warren.
So I've just moved my swamp monster here since you've spoiled me with the good news. I can't move it to Warren, so I guess it's the rest of your turn then.
Thank you. You're too kind. So I'm going to use this foot. You see I've got a dice there. It's got a foot and an eye, and I'm going to choose to use the foot, and
Okay.
I'm going to...
Go on to a mysterious one. Go on.
Yeah,
on to a new
let's do it. Shall we go on to this one here?
one. Okay.
Yeah. Are we liking this one? Yeah. So that's the grey trees. And that's a lair, so I need a level 1 creature to go on there. So we've got the cave rats.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pop them on the grey trees. And we can see that the first compulsory challenge is a foot. Now I've got 2 dice left. There are no feet on there, but I get to do 1 reroll per challenge. So I need a foot or I am dead. There you go. So I have no feet. So yeah, that was short and bitter.
We did fairly well for the first game, but this is looking pretty brutal, the first turn. So, what happens when we run out of goblins?
Well, it's funny you should ask that.
It's not that funny considering how fast we're going through them.
The person that has the last goblin left on the board wins
So if I just kill all my goblins, but I have the last one, I win. Sounds pretty good.
Yeah. 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 If we come to a point where there are no goblins left to choose,
Yep.
then the person who's got the last goblin on the board
Excellent.
is declared the winner.
Right, so let's have a look. I'm going to go this huge tanky guy. I mean, I feel at this point there can only be a benefit. When Tanker fails a challenge, you may re-roll 1 dice. If you still fail, Tanker dies. That sounds pretty awesome to me. So I'm going to go this guy. I'm not really sure how he's going to make it through the marsh. He's so heavily armoured, I'm slightly worried I might drown.
Show us the miniature.
Show you the miniature.
Show us the miniature. He's another good one.
Show me the monitor.
There you go.
Look
So that's Tanker.
he's
So heavily armoured.
awesome. I know I keep saying this, but he's definitely my favourite.
As fickle as a goblin there, change your mind.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to start in the Warren, and I get a whopping 4 green dice and a white dice. So I'm feeling pretty good. He must be able to take people on, because I know these green dice have got swords. Wow, okay. For someone that's wearing a lot of armour, that's a lot of movement he can do.
Fleet of foot.
So, if I use all my movement, I could teleport back here, but having experienced that previous to this, I feel like that might be a bad idea.
There are other level 3 tiles available.
There are indeed. But with this many feet, I'm actually thinking that stealing a baby might be a good idea.
I think that's a good option for you.
So can I spend a point to move onto the cave rat,
Mm-hmm.
and then can I just walk away from that cave rat?
You can spend another foot. You've passed that compulsory
Excellent.
challenge. You've got feet left. You can use that to move on to the next tile.
So I've moved on to a lair, which is an unexplored cavern.
So because it's a lair, you need a level 2 creature. So you moved on to a level 2 tile. Now the creatures get a bit tougher.
Okay.
So you've got a monstrous spider.
Oh, brilliant.
Let's show viewers the monstrous spider. There we go.
Oh, brilliant. A
Yeah.
monstrous spider.
Yeah. Because there's only one thing worse than a spider. It's a monstrous spider.
To be fair, you're not wrong. So, I've moved on there, and I believe that the easiest test is an eye. And, aye, look what I've got here. 2 eyeballs. So I'm going to pass that bad boy.
Yeah. Jammy.
So at that point, does my turn end? I've still got 2 dice.
You can choose to take the next challenge, which is with the green dice, because they're littered with swords and feet. You could easily pass that test, but if you choose to take that test and fail, then you are dead.
Could I use my remaining foot to move on to tile 3?
You can.
I'm not
You
going to
can.
do that.
You
I've
can.
learned my mistake,
Yeah,
so I'm
yeah.
not going to do that.
Yeah.
But
Once
it'd
you
be good
pass
to know
that
that I have.
compulsory test, you're free to do what you want.
Well, I'm going to end my turn there, and I don't want to brag, but my goblin's still alive.
Yeah, true. But you know.
Matters can change.
Yeah, true enough.
So we're down to the last 2 goblins.
So I'm going to take the 2 remaining cards, and I'm going to choose one. And did I mention Hoarder earlier?
You did indeed,
With his
with the doesn't drop stuff.
yeah, with his big box.
Okay.
No need to brag. I'm going to take his 4 dice and 3 gold.
You know, I genuinely didn't think we would be able to have a look at all the models, because I genuinely didn't think we would die. So this is what Hoarder looks like. And Hoarder's special rule is that he's going to start with 3 gold, 2 green dice, 2 white dice, and when he dies, all his gold, bones, and items are placed where he dies. So that's going to really help you out.
Yes.
Not taking the bait there, not rising to the bait.
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
No.
Right. So I believe it's your turn.
Yes, it is. So I'm going to roll these dice.
Okay.
So no feet there. So I get to re-roll the whole lot until I get feet.
I mean, if you wanted to, could you not be using your gold at this point? Because there seems to be a...
I could do
stockpile
it.
there.
I could. Yeah.
Buying a pet, buying a random dice, or trading in a dice or bones.
No, if I spend 3 gold, I get to choose an item. So what I'll do is, I've got an idea that I want to go and try and bribe the dwarves, so I don't want to spend all my money.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to spend 2 gold and I'm going to buy a pet.
Oh.
This is a good way to introduce the concept of pets. So I take 2 cards,
So you go down
turn
to your
them over.
local adoption agency.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you've drawn 2 pets there, the sick dog and the corpse maggots.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
So I'm going to go for. I'm going to go for the sick dog. As you can see there, that little empty square there tells us that he can carry an item for me, which is good because items give you extra dice, and it gives me +1 permanent foot icon, which is very handy for passing tests and navigating the Mire Marsh. So I'm going to take him. I'm going to put the corpse maggots back into the pile of pets.
It says they're sick dog. Are Miremarsh goblins pretty hip? Does that mean it's a cool dog or?
Yeah, totally sick. They're all about the street talk. Yeah,
I thought so.
Yeah,
I thought
absolutely.
So.
Yeah, they talk like the youngs.
Nice.
Yeah. How do youngs talk exactly? I know that's one of the everything's sick, isn't it?
So you're not referring to the Younglings, the old comedy? No, okay, never mind. No, you never seen the Younglings? They're a bunch of goblins.
The young ones.
Oh, the young ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought you said the younglings as in the Star Wars reference.
This is why I'm not in the podcasts with the pop cultural references.
So, yeah, bang up to date with the pop culture reference there with the young ones. Yeah. So I'm going to spend a foot. I've bought stuff, bought pets, still got a gold left.
And you've got a spare foot because of the dog.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, I found a good point. So I don't need to spend a foot. I use the one on the dog, and I'm going to move to this unexplored tile. That's a layer, so we take another level 1 creature, and that's the that's good. Leaping piranhas.
That's it.
And let's see the leaping piranhas. Leaping piranhas.
They're like brilliant.
Yeah.
It's like Piranhas 3D or 3DD or whatever the new one was.
Yeah. Without Kelly Brook.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, there I go.
Who knows? Your goblin might be Kelly Brook standard.
Moving on. So the first test there, I need an eye. So I've got the foot and an eye. So that's easy peas. So that leaves me 2. I'm not going to risk that secondary test because I've only got 2 swords left. So I'm going to stay there.
Okay.
And I'm going to eat only my second fish. That's how well I've been doing.
I do apologise, I think I forgot to eat a fish there. We're definitely on turn 3 at least.
Cheat! Over to you.
Oh no, I died, didn't I?
No, because you're still on the board.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to roll my dice. I am not taking on the spider, I'm going to run away at full speed. I'm not going to run away at full speed, I'm going to move at a slow amble. But I've got the foot there, so I'm going to move on to this number 3. And this number 3 is going to be a hidden fall. Oh no! So what you may or may not know is you'll get a chance to read my review on the website. And this is actually the one that defeated me and let Paul win the game last time. So
happy days.
Always fortuitous. So I need 2 feet and an eye. Now unfortunately, I've got the eye, but I definitely don't have the feet. So can I keep those eyes, or am I going to have to re-roll all the dice if I want to
re-roll the whole pool?
Right, okay. But there's a good chance. There's eyes and there's feet.
I would say you've got a pretty good chance there.
Do I need to choose which compulsory test I'm doing beforehand?
No.
Nope. Okay. So I'm going to go for the top one, the easier one. Oh! Well, no, I didn't need to choose. You've literally just said that. And I think I've absolutely slam dunked that.
I've got do the second one then.
2 feet and I've got 2 eyes.
Yeah, totally. So you pass the second test, you get some bones.
Brilliant.
Have some bones.
What do the bones do?
You can trade them in for gold if you go back to the Warren or the Troll Shaman.
Yep.
And there are some tests that require you to have bones to give to creatures.
Right, okay. So I don't have any feet left over at all. It's your turn. So
Okay.
I eat another fish.
So meanwhile, over in the mossy trees, Horder's going to roll some dice. I have loads of feet there because I've got one on my dog. So I'm going to spend one of those to move on to a level 2 tile. I'm going to use the one on the dog, so I've got all my dice in my dice pool. flip this. Fog patch.
So on the dog it says +1 foot. Is that
Mhm.
per turn or per roll?
That's per turn, because that counts as being one of your dice in your dice pool.
Cool.
So now I've spent that.
Yep.
That is
Gone.
Yep, gone. So I'm going to move to the fog patch. That's a lair, level 2, so I need a level 2 creature.
Oh, you're so, oh right, okay, sorry, you don't get the ability, do you? Of
Let's
course.
see the fog patch. Yeah. There we go, fog patch.
I mean, you can hear the hooting and see the person running away from the camera,
yeah.
looking backwards and then falling over as the very slow-moving serial killer catches up with them.
Thank you. Do you just mean on the game, or is that what's outside?
Well, if you looked outside, we are in the middle of the Peak District.
And creature-wise, I've got marsh crabs. There is an ointment for marsh crabs. Doesn't come with the game. I think we might be adding it as an add-on or a stretch goal.
Oh, God.
So you only needed 1 foot to do the compulsory,
Oh,
so
yeah.
I can't believe it. You've done it without even trying.
Yep, easy peas. So I don't fancy my chances of passing the optional challenges there, so I'm going to end my turn.
Okay. Okay then, Paul. So what I want to ask you is, the Steal a Baby, I have 3 compulsory tests. Presumably I have to pass them all in one go.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't, inevitably it seems like I die. I feel like that's the answer.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, will I need to spend a foot to move on to that tile and then do those tests?
Yeah.
Or can I spend a foot to move on to that tile and then next turn do the tests?
No, once you land there, you have to complete all the compulsory tests.
So I need 6 feet
In
to get
essence,
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why they're the hardest difficulty tiles.
Yep. Now,
Well-
if I were you, I wouldn't go there just now.
Well, I don't have to say where I'm going, do I?
Nope. You
I
can
roll my
it,
dice.
Yep, then you can
I
decide.
may or may not be going there. So let's give this a go then.
So this is where acquiring pets or extra items, that's where they give you the edge. So a lot of the quests are difficult to pass.
Yep.
In some cases impossible to pass with just the basic goblin dice.
Right, as I'm discovering right now.
Mm.
Although, having a look at that, I actually think I might be able to go back and kill this spider.
Yep.
I've got a foot to move backwards.
Mm-hmm.
I've already passed the white compulsory test.
Yep.
So I only need to pass these 2 brown ones. So I believe I have a foot and a sword for the first one.
Yeah.
And I have a eyeball and a sword for the second one.
Awesome.
So I'm going to face my fears. So when you have gigantic weapons, you can face your fears, is essentially the moral of that story.
That is the moral of Miremarsh. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So can I have a gold and can I have a rope? Is that?
There you are.
That's-
Nope. They're the wrong ones.
So rope presumably is green?
The green dice, yeah.
Excellent.
That's it.
Now, I've only got in my backpack one of these dice and I've got one of these bones now.
They don't take up your items in
The
your backpack.
bones don't.
Nope, the bones and the gold, they just
Excellent.
like stay in your pockets or whatever, but it's only the dice icons, the dice tiles that you put in the squares.
Now, out of interest, I've obviously passed that hidden fall in a previous turn. Does that mean when I move on to it I need to retest or I've just passed it?
Can you not ask that question because I don't know the answer?
Okay. So, what I'm going to do next turn is I'm going to try and tackle this number 3 because I really don't fancy my chances of having to do that hidden fall again, followed by the baby.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to eat fish and it's your turn.
Awesome. Right, my go. You like the way I totally dodged that question there? Slick.
Well, we were going to cut it out until you brought it back up again.
Professional. we can totally cut that out, can't you?
Totally be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah. Totally cut that out. Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
you're rolling now for your turn.
Paw. I've got loads of fish left. I need money. So
Number 3, you're going to get caught under a tree.
I'm gonna go over here. Say hello to the piranhas. Say hello to my little
I
friends.
didn't realise we were at KFC. You running away? What kind of chicken are you?
What's the matter, Colonel Sanders?
Oh yeah, cool. So I passed that. and I'm still alive. And then I'll spend that and move there. And then I'll spend that and move there. And I'll end my turn there.
Okay. So do you automatically get that gold that was left by
Yep.
your dead compatriot?
That's mine now. I'm
Excellent.
glad you asked. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I'm feeling pretty good actually. So is this rope a one use item?
You can keep on using that rope as long as you like.
Then give me a green dice, my good friend.
Green dice. There you are, sir.
Okay, so let's get this show on the road. Now that is a roll, if you've ever seen a roll. That is pretty good. So I could gamble on the mysterious unknown 3, or I could guarantee managing to pass the hidden fall and be in place for next turn. Well, I'm not a coward. Well, I am, but I'm not. So I'm going to go for the new 3. So I'm going to spend. Now, have you got any recommendations? So at this point, I've got a choice between my green dice and my white dice. Any recommendation about which one I should spend? Is there a difference?
If I were you, I'd spend the green dice because the green dice.
I've got loads of
you've
the
got
green
loads
dice.
of them, yeah, and you've got plenty of eyes.
Yep.
On the
White
yellow
dice, because that's
not so many on the green.
Right, okay. So I'm going to spend the green dice. There's a little bit of tactics involved there.
But bear in mind,
you would lie, wouldn't you?
of course,
Of
yeah,
course you would.
totally. Yeah.
Okay, right. Well, flip over 3 and let's find out how much you've lied. Cursed Runes, which is another layer. And there's something about I can exchange dice for spells, which is quite cool.
Yep, that is cool.
So what kind of monster are you going to give me on a level 3 tail? I think this is actually a first level 3 monster.
Yes, I'm going to give you. Oh dear. For
Excellent.
You, for you, the war is over.
So the Fen Lord, you're giving me an evil laugh. Now, I'm sure I've seen this on the Kickstarter page.
Yeah, you will. Yeah. Fenlord's probably one of the best miniatures in the game. We don't have it with us today. But even so, he's a really, really difficult tile.
And is he a Kickstarter exclusive?
I'm glad you asked me that. Yes, he is. Yeah.
Cool. I mean, we've mentioned Kickstarter exclusives a couple of times, but generally most of the stuff you're producing is actually going to go into retail. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, I've got your previous Museum Rush. The first time I played this, you actually seduced me and sold me Museum Rush, and I thought it was absolutely fantastic. So
is that all one sentence, or is that two?
Put a comma wherever you like. Okay then. So to beat the Fen Lord, I need 2 coins and a fish. Well, that's not good.
Nope.
So is he just going to eat me?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't fight him off.
I'm afraid you can't beat him off.
When Tanker fails a challenge, you may reroll 1 dice. Well, unfortunately, the reason I'm failing is not a dice. He won't accept an extra fish. No?
No.
Alright then.
Nice try.
So I'm afraid Tanker is now dead as well.
Yep. So you dump your stuff there. So
I
you put
do
one,
indeed.
one on the tile,
Okay.
and then the other 2 on adjacent tiles. Cool. Right. So you get the last goblin.
The last. So if you die, wait, do I get the goblin now, or does it wait until my turn? Because at what point do we consider the person to have lost? When you need to draw the new goblin, is it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That seems so unfair on you, but I'm going to totally gloat because that gives me another edge. So I've got their Catcher, who is actually the model I won the last game with, I seem to remember. No, it wasn't. It was the shotgun guy that I won with.
Gunner.
Yeah. Imaginative names, these goblins.
Yeah. Obviously big fans of the show ER. I want that gold. Yeah. So
but you've completed...
I completed the first optional test.
Okay.
So now I'm going to try and pass the second and
Okay.
third.
Right.
I'm going to roll some dice. In fact, I don't need to roll the dice for the second because my sick dog
is giving you a movement tail.
So now I just need an eye and a sword, and I'll pass the third optional test, and I'll get all that money.
I'm tempted to put fish actually over the top of the completed ones to keep track of it.
Well, it's funny you should mention that because we've done some boot tokens in Kickstarter. They've been unlocked now. They come.
Oh,
with,
have they? Brilliant, because they were
they've
the
been unlocked.
social stretch goals, weren't they?
That's right. Yep. So whenever you pass a test, you can use a boot token to mark which tests you've passed.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Good skills there on the feed. Well done.
No problem.
You
I have been stalking this game from day one. You didn't think it was a chance encounter that we met, do you?
Clearly not. Clearly not.
That's
There
a
you
lot
go.
of gold.
That's I'm very, very happy with that amount of gold.
Okay.
So that's going to make my bribing the dwarves all that much easier. And then I'm going to finish there, eat the fish.
Right.
Happy days.
So I'm going to start off in the Warren. The technical monster really hasn't moved that much, actually.
No. That's because, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
None of us are rolling. Oh, you're rolling
Blue dice.
blue dice.
Well, I wasn't previously. This
That's
is my
right.
new goblin.
Yeah. So we haven't been rolling any black dice and we haven't been rolling any blue dice, and they're the only dice that have the swamp monster on.
Oh, and that's interesting that I've just mentioned the swamp monster, because actually my ability starts with a pet, which is quite good. But my special rule is once during the turn you may discard a fish to move the swamp monster one tile. It's pretty good, except I've only got 4 fish left, so
Yeah.
not so much. So let's see what we've got.
There you go.
Let's see how well these have been shuffled. Oh, that is fantastic. There's a land snail who's
Look
like
at
a baggage animal,
Yeah.
and there's an orc slave.
Yeah.
Again, amazing artwork there. And it gives me a sword token, so I
Does.
think definitely orc slave.
Good choice, even though the land snail is very, very useful for carrying kit.
For all that kit that I've gathered on my journeys.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with 2 green, 1 white, and a blue, and I'm going to see how far I can get. So ideally I want to get to here. So I want my loot on there.
Well, you can spawn there.
I can spawn there.
You can spawn where your previous goblin. No, you don't want to do that
No.
because you'll spawn on the Fenlord.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely don't want to do that.
No. Unwise.
He was not friendly, and he's taken away the only 2 gold that I possibly could have given him. He hasn't really understood market economics. If he kills his customers, he'll have no customers. Anyway, I will choose. No, I'm not going to. We've literally just discussed that. So I'll start from the beginning again, and let's see where we get to. I've got no feet, so I believe I'm allowed to re-roll.
You are?
So I actually got that many feet going from the really fast guy. Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. Wow, check you out.
Never truer words.
Speedy.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend my first foot to move on to the cave rats. I'll spend my second feet to move on to the monster spider, and then I'll spend my eye to survive that so that I get the rope.
Very
So
good.
Then it's your turn.
Okay, and don't forget to eat your fish.
Okay, I've flipped over my fish.
Excellent. Right, okay, so over at the infested grove, I'm going to roll some dice. So I'm going to use the foot that comes with my sick dog, and I'm going to move over to the standing stones, and I'm going to choose to take that optional test.
So you need 2 feet or you lose the
2
game.
feet or I lose the game.
I mean, that's pretty good odds. I mean, you've got 2 white dice that have double feet.
Yeah. True. Awesome. Yep, so I'll spend that.
I've actually just noticed on this board, we've actually got a little extra trail that you can actually use as a sort of shortcut by the look of it.
Yep.
And around here as well, very nice.
So I can move to any level 3 Oh, do you know what? I'm beginning to think that's not a good idea.
Well, you've actually got a pet.
Yeah, but I haven't got the blue dice to be able to roll pentagrams to kill the last unicorn. So I am going to spend, instead of spending those 2 feet to use the standing stones,
Okay.
I'm going to spend this one.
I mean, you've
I'm
still
gonna
got
spend that
some
one.
cash, don't you?
Got all of that cash.
So you could try and buy some extra dice.
Yeah, but I want most of that to bribe the
Bribe the
dwarves.
dwarves.
So I'm going to use that to move over to the piranhas. Re-roll these to pass the first test. Dice don't fail me now. There we go. There's the
Well
eye.
done.
So so I passed the compulsory test. Boom, and I'm going to stick there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to roll my dice and see where I get to.
Eat a fish.
So I don't actually have a choice with the Fen Lord. I'm not going to be able to kill him. So I'm going to have to hopefully get enough to pass this hidden fall. Looks like I'm not going that way either. My goodness, it's getting difficult, isn't it? So I've got there a foot, a pentagram, and a sword. Now I've picked up the rope for my previous guy's attempt. Can I do
You need
that
to roll
again?
an extra dice because.
Oh, I do indeed, yeah. But could I complete that test again because it's a different goblin?
Yeah, that's right. So you've got the foot and the sword to pass the the first optional test, and then you've got
Which counts as an eye.
Yeah,
Excellent.
totally.
Well, I'll just
So
get
you
a
get-
second rope. So
and
brilliant.
some gold.
And some gold. Excellent.
Mhm.
Raking it in.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
Are you carrying on? Well, you've used your whole pool.
I have
so
indeed,
you're
yes.
doing-
So my
yeah.
turn is definitely over. But I've got a whopping amount of dice now.
Mm.
Loads of swords. It's a shame that I don't need swords for this battle.
Yeah. And eat a fish.
Eat a fish. Yeah.
You're running low on fish.
I am indeed.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping to win in the next turn or so.
Are you now?
Well, I mean, you're
Yeah.
always aiming to win.
Yeah,
So
that sounds like a challenge. So.
yeah, because
roll
there's
these
been
dice.
no rivalry in this game whatsoever.
None at all. None at all. So, So I'm going to have to use those two to move onto a tile. Now, the marsh crabs, our old friend the marsh crabs, are the easiest, so I'm going to have to re-roll. I have no feet on the dice, so I need to... Oh, I'll spend the foot that's on the dog.
That's pretty handy.
Yep, so I pass that, end my turn, eat a fish, hand over to you.
Right, so I've only got 2 fish left, but I am rolling a sugar load of dice at this point. I can also use a fish to kill you with the tentacle monster. So you've really put yourself in not a brilliant position for that one. So it really all depends on how well I roll on this roll, whether I decide to be underhanded and use my last fish to take you with me. So I guess I'll roll and we'll really take it from there. So for moving on to this tile, I'm going to need 2 feet and an eye and a foot, which I've actually achieved. I'm going to have to eat a fish at the end of this round. I could use my remaining fish to move the tentacle monster onto you, because I wouldn't starve till next round, and next round I'll either have won or lost. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend my dice to move on to the tile and complete that quest.
Test.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I am then going to spend a fish, because I have to eat one, and I'm going to spend a fish to use my special ability. Once during each turn you may discard a fish to move the swamp creature 1 tile. And I'm afraid I'm going to move the swamp monster onto your tile. Boo! So what happens now?
Right, so I now need to see if I can A, kill the swamp monster.
Yep.
B, run away from the swamp monster.
Yep.
Or C, be eaten by the swamp monster.
And is that part of your turn, or is this a sort of out of turn phase?
That begins at the beginning of my turn.
Right, okay.
So instead of facing a compulsory test,
You're probably going to lose all your dice on this.
oh,
So you've got to-
referee.
got
So
a
I
feat.
needed 2 swords to kill the swamp monster.
Those are not 2 swords.
No,
I can tell you that.
No, they certainly are not.
You
So
do have your extra
do
foot because
have-
of the dog.
Yeah, so I can flee back to the warren. Now that's, on the one hand, I'm still alive.
Yep.
On the other hand, I'm running out of fish.
On the bright side, though, you didn't die, and I'll either die or win.
True
Mm.
enough. Before my turn ends,
Mm-hmm.
I've got all the money.
Okay.
So I'm going to spend some of that money to buy an extra item. So I'm going to buy a
3 gold for an item
Black
or 2 gold for a
dice.
pet. How many pets can you have?
You can have a maximum of 2.
Oh, right. Okay, very nice.
So I'm going to spend 3 gold and I'm going to buy a black dice.
Very nice. I kind of
Yeah.
wish I had one of those, although for this next test I don't need them. So here it comes. This really is the final dice roll, because I'll either win and win the game,
Mm-hmm.
or I will lose, and because I've got no fish, die of starvation.
Yeah, that's pretty much the top and bottom of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, pretty good. I don't suppose I can eat my orc slave by any chance?
It's innovative, but
Frowns on
at
it.
present it's not in the rules.
Okay. So here goes nothing. Am I going to get any rerolls, or is this just literally? Oh no, because I can spend a dice move and then I can do a reroll
Yeah.
kind of.
Reroll.
So this isn't actually the last roll. That was a lie. So I do apologise. So I've got 4 feats. I've definitely not got enough to succeed. Or can I do spend 1
Yeah.
to move on?
Yeah.
Then can I spend 2 to complete the first test and
That's
then re-roll these dice?
So you've passed the first. Now we're on to the second. You can re-roll your remaining dice. You spent those 3.
So I'm in serious trouble. Essentially, I've got a truly tiny chance of doing this.
Well, don't forget that the yellow dice, one of the faces on the yellow dice has
It
2
does have a
feet
2.
on. Yeah.
So I'm going to roll that dice first, because I feel like for the tension's sake. In fact, no, I'll just roll them all. Was that a bad decision? The feet, they're the same, aren't they? It really wasn't going to make much difference.
No.
Here comes. We know what Sans dice rolls are like. This is going to be final roll of the game. It really does all come down to this dice roll. I need 2 feet, or a foot in a pentagram, or you've won, Paul. How are you feeling? Are you feeling lucky?
I feel as lucky as Clint Eastwood right now.
Wait, hang on a minute. Does he not? He doesn't know how much luck he is. He asked the guy the question, doesn't he? You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk? No. I mean, could that have got worse? I've rolled a tentacle monster, so not only do I fail and get caught, but you get to move the tentacle monster and come and eat me as well.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I mean, you were the least useless goblin, so well done,
so
Paul.
least useless that I've won the game in the starting square.
That's pretty good.
That's
safe place
a
to go.
first. Yeah, well, true enough. Yeah.
So yeah, Miremarsh, fantastic game. Again, Room 17 knocked it out of the park. I really loved Museum Rush, and I've really enjoyed Miremarsh. You said it's on Kickstarter at the moment?
Did I?
Well, I believe you did.
I did. Yes, it's on Kickstarter right now. It finishes on the 30th of July at 5 p.m. and not a minute later.
Not a minute later.
Not a minute
presumably, since it's in pounds, it is GMT. You mean 5 o'clock?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. There's no other time zone.
There's no other time zones.
It's the slickest time zone on the planet.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And we're absolutely smashing through stretch goals. I'm not sure how many we're on. 10, it might even be already. £75,000 funded.
Yeah.
Of a goal of 30 or something like that. 30, 35.
40 something.
40 something.
40
So
something,
nearly
yeah.
doubled.
My age, 40 something.
40 something.
Yeah.
Too big to count up to. So yeah, it's looking like it may even be the best Kickstarter you guys have done so far. The most
Absolutely,
successful.
yeah.
I mean, you're just going from strength to strength. So I think people should definitely go check out Miremarsh and follow it.
Yeah.
And we're going to get some great pictures of the models up, so you can all have a look at them, rather than Sam's podgy fingers getting in the photos all the time. Any last words you want to say to the geek priders out there?
Only that Miremarsh, as you've seen, is an excellent game. It's full of highs and lows and tears,
Mainly
and
lows.
laughter, mainly lows. Back the Kickstarter. It's got many levels to choose, and I'd be remiss if I didn't say that the £170 level is the best value level. You get absolutely everything in the game for that. All the stretch goals, all the add-ons, it's all in there for one flat price.
It's also worth noting that they're actually being limited to the original number of backers. So as of just now, there was 632 all-in pledges, and there was only 400 left. So if you fancy it, you better get in there quick. I mean, I've already got mine, so you guys can be as quick as you like.
It's already good value for money, and it's only going to get better value for money the more stretch goals and add-ons that we unlock.
I mean, I can't believe they're going to add more, because actually you're already saving £15, I think it is, with the... Yeah, I've already done the maths. I know it's a bit sad, but, you know, there's already expansions to add plastic coin tokens. There's already an expansion to make plastic fish tokens a must-have.
Yeah.
Plastic tokens for the bones as well, for gathering up.
Yeah.
They've added in those monster expansions, so you can get a wonderful model as good as the goblins, if not better.
Yeah.
For all the monsters, so you can have them on the board.
Right.
And they actually replaced the tentacle monster, I believe, as well. You actually got rules for that as well.
Yeah, there are other wandering monsters on the board now. You don't just have to use the swamp monster, you can have an array of monsters now. There's an extra board called the Undermire that you can explore and die in.
So there was weird blue models in that expansion. What was that about?
Ghost goblins.
Ghost goblins.
Yeah.
There'd be one or two wandering around this board.
Who are you going to call ghost goblins? They're going to appear and they're going to create mischief and mayhem whilst you're trying to continue with your quest.
Really?
And there's going to be more tiles, more dice, more stuff. It's going to be the best Kickstarter in the world ever.
And I feel like it's my job working for Geek Pride. I have to then ask for an exclusive. Feel free to turn it down, or if you don't know. But are we looking at, is there any Museum Rush expansions planned in the future? I know you're still delivering the Kickstarter, or even Mire Marsh. Is this going to be a tournament scene or anything like that? Or it's not something they've considered yet?
Those answers are above my pay grade.
Above your pay grade. That means he knows, but he won't tell me. Don't worry, guys. I'll get you an answer later. So this has been Geek Pride with Mire Marsh. All that's left to do is thank you very much, Paul, for coming along. Hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. It probably helps that you won.
Maybe even more.
Maybe even more. So from us at Geek Pride, thank you very much for watching, and get down to Mire Marsh and get backing before the 30th at 5 PM. Thanks very much.